This photograph was when we were on the camp on the Isle of Wight. I think we were probably about 10. Either the latter part of the minor stroke, the beginning of the juniors, and it was for many of us a first time being in communal tents, and we'd have competitions between us. It was always trying to achieve something slightly better than the next person or the next team. So this is a picture of a guy called Dave Van Gelder holding a cup, and he was one of the better footballers amongst us. The irony of this particular group, which is quite interesting, by myself in there, is that they were all by a Petticoat Lane area. So even within Brady Club and the East End, we had areas of, if you want, origin that people associated with and still hung around those little groups, interestingly enough. This was an amazing camp in that every single boy there had probably not hardly been away except to Skeet on holiday, bar maybe Brighton or Margate or Bournemouth with their parents. There was a lot of freedom, tremendous amount of freedom. I can't recall anybody not enjoying it, which is kind of interesting because we're talking about hundreds of boys. It was basic, the camp. It really was, you know, when we say sleeping bags, no, they were not sleeping bags. We used to have a couple of blankets which we used to put together with these large pins and sleep in those. Fortunately, the weather generally was okay, bar some rain. And it was the first experience of boys actually washing up, again, outside of Skeet, doing everything themselves, and there was an attempt at cooking, but not very much. Basically, that was provided. I think the other thing was the closeness you got to the different types of managers there. So managers that you felt you knew in the environment of the club on a nightly or a weekend basis were quite different characters when they were also exposed to some of the things that boys were. So some of the activities we did there, they were at least as frightened, if not more frightened than us when we went and did them. So that was quite interesting to suddenly see these adults had vulnerabilities which you never saw.